Well, hello, welcome back. So, as you can see, this tray is so huge that I've had to put you right up on wide so you can see a bit of floor and the computer feet, but I just wanted to make sure that everything was in. So anyway, here we are. I'm Claire, this is Purple Poppy, and today we are doing Sunday stitching. And again, I am looking at Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. So we're there, aren't we? I've just done the penultimate prompt. We've got the bird bath and the bird house. I've now done my infill page to go there, and this is patiently waiting for the very last prompt. There's my back page, and then we can start sewing all that in and adding bits of lace and all sorts of excitement. So we're almost there on that one, and that's why, of course, we've been talking, let me move this for a minute, we've been talking about the new prompt, treasure hunt or treasured memories, whatever you want to sort of call it. To me, it's going to be treasured memories. Now, as I said to you, I was going to make a faux printer's tray, and I wanted to do my things individually in each section. So as you can see, I've got my tray now. I mean, I've got all these odd household boxes cut down. This was hot chocolate, this was coffee, these are all matchboxes. Got a pill box, different pill box, another pill box, and this is a fragrance box from my day job. And then the craft brown ones and this odd white one I did actually make. And this one is nothing because it's got sides all the way round. I then glued the whole lot to 3 water pad backs because they're nice and firm. And I just ran a corrugated card edge all the way round. So my job now is to cover these edges because I don't want to see that corrugated card. I've got this paper parcel tape from a Tesco if you're in the UK. Now I bought this for my day job because I thought I was being all good and eco and using paper tape, but I've got to be honest with you and say, although it doesn't look like it, trying to peel it open, it doesn't stick to itself, which is really dumb. It's really, really sticky, but it doesn't stick to itself. So my plan is to go on top like that. I'll fold it down that side, and then I'm just going to get my scissors, turn it around the other way so I can see, and I'm just going to snip like that, and then that will press down like so, just so we lose that corrugated look. And I'm just going to go all the way round like that and do the whole box. Okay, you see, look, it looks super sticky, but when you try to stick it to itself, not the sticky bit, in doing up a parcel, it just doesn't work. So I sort of taken it out of my day job pile and put it into the craft pile. Because obviously if you're only sticking it to something like this, then that's going to work absolutely fine. But when you do a parcel, you often go over a piece of tape, don't you? And that's what wouldn't work. So I'm just going to go all the way around doing this. Okay, now I'm not going to bore you by doing it all. I just wanted to show you my plan. And then when I've done that all the way round, I'm going to get the gesso out, and I'll give it all a good coat of gesso so that it's going to be easy to paint. Okay, so while I was was watching YouTube during the week and flicking through Instagram. Excuse me, I need a drink. I saw something that made me think that not only would this printer's tray appeal to me as a way to display my treasures as part of the next volume, but those of you that follow Cathe Holden cannot possibly have missed the fantastic bags that she's got on her, is it a wall on Instagram, on her feed, whatever. And it got me thinking. So I had this corduroy bag that I made, oh, I don't know, ages ago. And I went through and I pulled out some of that cotton, and because I knew I wanted blue, I stenciled on there so it looked like, you know, a faux old sack under there. I did a couple of puffs. I've cut out a couple of hexes, odd bits of lace. I did some stamping. You'll recognise that as a Tim Holtz. Stamped bits, put them on. Odd bit of lace. Another piece of this stenciled cotton. Very precious memory. Collar of my granddaughter's dress. And on Cathe's, because she's obviously got a fabulous stash of equipment and bits to use, she had some vintage dresses. Now, I'm not so lucky. So what I did was, and as you can see, it's far from perfect, but I went on to the internet and I Googled baby doll dress, and I found a pattern and I printed it out. If I pull these off, I can show you, and we've conveniently got some trays here to put these pieces in. And I just printed it out. I printed it out onto A4 deliberately. See, I've got to do it all because it's all pinned through itself, but it doesn't matter. Printed out on A4, cut it out and stitched up this little dress. Now, as I say, it's far from perfect. I am no seamstress and I wouldn't really want anyone checking the quality of it. But bearing in mind that the whole thing was designed to have all these memories popped on top of it, I figured, actually, do you know what? It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be handmade. It needs to be loved. I wanted to see that owl's face, so I moved that further over there a bit. And as you can see, I've got all sorts of odd things here, because there's a piece of an old shirt and it's got the buttons still on it. Now, I've got to be honest and say most of these bits are new. They're not vintage, or apart from that collar, particularly like loving memories. But I did think, do you know what? This could be the perfect way to move forward with volume 4. So if you haven't already set in your mind exactly what you're doing and you're still umming and ahhing, this might be something that you would like to consider. And even if you don't want to consider it, you may want to go over and admire Cathe Holden's bag. I mean, obviously she's a fantastic artist in her own right. She does a lot of designing for Moda, etc. And she's a, you know, really awesome crafts lady. And I'm sure she's a lovely person. You can sort of tell somehow. But anyway, so yesterday, that's what I did. I made the dress, and then I went through and I did the stenciling in the Colbert Blue by Archival, and also that Cornflower Blue. This is French General fabric. This is just that base blue that I had in Happy Mail. And I've just pinned it all to there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unpin it from the bag, because obviously I was doing that to check the sizing. And I'm going to set about sewing it all together. to make it solid rather than stabby, because at the moment with these pins it's very, very stabby. So I'll just pull that off. Now if you look at Cathe's Instagram, she has got a reel. It does go quite fast, but she's got a reel. There you go. You see, it's just a plain tote bag that I made a long time ago, and I have used it. I've used it a lot. This bit of paper. But I just thought, you know what, it might be the perfect thing to do this onto. Cathe shows that she used tote bags that she found on Instagram. Not Instagram, sorry, on Amazon. So that's how, you know, she worked forward. I just happened to have this bag, and obviously any old backing fabric. So I'm going to start with good old-fashioned hidden stitches, really. So I'm going to get a needle like so, and I'm going to do invisible stitches and just pin it all down, and then I can come back and decide if I want to do, not if, where I want to do decorative stitching. So I just thought I'd share it with you guys, because if you don't follow Cathe and you haven't seen it, you wouldn't know about it. So I had a lovely time yesterday putting all this together, and you know, if you were doing it with all actual treasures, it would be awesome. I don't know if I can thread this needle now. It's fairly typical, isn't it? Because, yay, there we go. Yes, sorry. If you were doing it with actual treasures, then it would be awesome. Because you could put little bits of broken jewellery and all sorts of things. Now, I'm going to start here on this puff, because my plan is I don't obviously want to absolutely stitch everything all the way around in detail. I want to make sure each piece is tacked, but I just want to make it so that obviously I can take the pins out, and then from there I can move on. So hubby's gone off out to a meeting, so it's just me and Boo at home today, and I don't know if you can hear, I don't know how well good the microphone is on my phone, but she's currently laying on the sofa just next to me, snoring. Very happy little doggy, just snoring away. And of course this I ripped from an old shirt, one of my charity shop shirts. I feel like I've got a bit of a lisp today. I don't know if it's because I haven't had enough fluid, but definitely feel like I don't sound like me. So you see that one can come out now because that's attached. I hope I'm on camera. I hope you can see. This tray is so big, it's filling up the table. Although I sometimes wonder if I should actually ask, you know, or make that comment. I hope I'm in camera, I hope you can see, because I said that in a video recently, and a lady commented and said, no, you're out of view for most of the video. So I deliberately played it back, and it simply wasn't true. I feel like some people just, I don't know. they're just not having a good day and they want to make sure they have a little dig into your day as well. I don't know, I don't get people. Okay, anyway, let's not be miserable, eh? Now these hexes have still, as you can see from the stitching, got the paper piece in them. I will need to obviously pull that out, so I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do that, because normally you'd do it once you'd connected, you know, one hexie to another. So don't know. So as you can see, I've just sort of gone around the edge of this piece. Oh, for some reason it's not coming through. Got a knot up of threads. What is occurring here? We got one of those little faux knots going on. So anyway, I haven't asked. See, I'm not my words. How are you all? You all happy, safe and well? Are you getting your crafting time in? I was thinking the other day, I feel like I need to get out. I feel like I've not had much out time. I've been, you know, just indoors, and I need to get out and do a bit of walking and get some fresh air in my lungs, I think. I'm feeling a little bit sort of hemmed in. Don't know how I'm going to deal with that yet, so I'm going to leave that. I'm going to do a little tie off here. Now I would say that I'll leave a link to Cathe's Instagram so that you can have a look at that. The only problem is I have tried linking Instagram things before and I can never make it work. So what I'll do, which is the thing that I feel most confident about, is I will just type in her name, because it's spelt different to normal Cathe, so you might struggle if you don't know who it is. So I'll type in her name, because obviously this has been totally inspired by her and she 100% deserves the accreditation. So I'll just type in her name and hopefully you can go from there. Oh, now I've threaded my needle. Talking of links and things, in last Sunday's video I did add a link for Budley Crafts, because they had some grey board versions of these faux printers trays. Now admittedly they are much smaller than this one. I think they were only 4 and 6 wells or boxes, whatever you want to call it, but I did think if there were some of you that liked the idea of having a printer's tray. But I know when I did a similar thing last year, one of my followers said, oh, I can't be getting boxes square, it never works properly. So if you liked the idea but you weren't confident in making the boxes or whatever, then obviously that's an option for you. Oh, that's not very invisible, Claire. That's a pretty giant stitch you've done there. Got carried away with yourself while you were talking. So yeah, I just thought I'd add that in case any of you wanted to join in but didn't want to do the boxes. I'm not sure what else I've got to tell you really. So yeah, I feel like I need to get out and do some walking and get some fresh air. So I'm about, she doesn't know it yet, but I'm about to park myself on my eldest daughter and demand that she come walking with me to discover the island I live on that I don't really know yet. So due to lockdown and things like that, I'm still not familiar really with where I live, so she's much more au fait with it all. Oh, that's because that's through about 8 layers. Oh. Right. Left that a bit short really, haven't I? There we go. Okay. So, there's a dog here. It's that time of year. Anyone that's got pets knows it's that time of year. Now, I do believe that I didn't fold far enough, so it has to fold that bit further. Because I did fold it and press it, but I think when I offered it back to the bag, that's why it's got a second fold line there. Okay, bit more thread then. Do the rest. And I did pick out from the happy mail that I had from the lovely Helen for my birthday. There's some delightful blue seed beads. So I will be, and I did have a different colour blue of my own already. So look, I'm filling this printer's tray up now because it's there on my desk. So yeah, there's another thing, you know, you could always use it as a desk thing. And actually, if you made it the same size as your green mat, you could just store stuff in it underneath your mat and lift it up and down. Oh, I'm full of ideas today, aren't I? Goodness me, I obviously had too much sleep. Sorry, I totally forgot what I was saying there because I went off on a random thought, as you do, you know. So yes, I'm about to try and go walking and work out where I live. So I think, you know, before it gets too hot, because I'm not very good in the heat, maybe, oops, that's around my bracelet, maybe, you know, now's a good time. I feel like at the moment it's what I call walking weather. It's not too hot, but it's nice and dry, and we can get out and have a romp around the island, work out where we are. Semi-play tourist, I suppose, you know, as you do. Because I think it's all very well going on holiday and enjoying things in a new place. And that's lovely. But I don't know the place I live in yet, so I can have a holiday on my own front door, as it were, and learn all about... Oh, we've got another knot now. Learn all about where I live. I think it's awesome. Yep, we've definitely got another knot. What's happened? And now I can't pick my needle up. So yeah, that's my plan. I'm gonna have... Oh, why won't that... yes, sorry. Gonna have a little... There it is. Have a little jaunt around the island. Sort of play tourist. And get to know... Something's not right here. There we go. Get to know where I live. So I thought that would be fun. Maybe we could take some video footage and share with you some of our days out, some of the things we might find along the way. Because I realised the other day, which I didn't know, we've actually got a theatre. It is a tiny theatre, only holds about 30 people, but we've got a theatre. We've got a museum. Actually, we've got 2 museums. So yeah, maybe have a little jaunt out and do some video for you guys. You might be interested, you might not, but you might be. I think we're all interested in that we are by nature nosy. And I often think about Andrea because, you know, Auntie May's Andrea, she lives in Cornwall, doesn't she? And I mean, it's such a picturesque place. Oh, round me bracelet again. Such a picturesque place is Cornwall. Be awesome if... oh, now this is going to be a problem. There you go. Be awesome if she sort of did some footage around where she is. I know she recently, or perhaps it wasn't recently, but she... oh, I pulled my needle out again. It's because I'm talking and not concentrating, isn't it? She did do... there was a fishing festival or something. Now I've lost my needle. Do you get the feeling it's like not meant to be, this video? Where's the needle gone? There. The needle's not lost, Claire. You are just blind. Oh, I bet you're all laughing at me, aren't you? Never mind. Wouldn't be the first time somebody's laughed at me. Talking of being laughed at, have I ever told you the story about trying to thread a needle on video and it not working? No, seriously. Have I ever told you about the disaster? I think I have. I think I remember telling you last year when we were doing postcards. But me and chairs and what a disaster we are. Oh my goodness. If ever we go somewhere new... oh, I pulled it out again. If ever we go somewhere new, the family go round checking the chairs, because you can guarantee if there is a dodgy chair in the building, I'll find it. I'll find it. I'll sit on it. It will collapse because it's on its last leg. And honestly, I mean, I'm not a small lady, but it's not because I weigh 50 stone or anything like that. You know, I'll find a chair with a wobbly leg, and before we are ready to leave, that leg will have given way and I will be on the floor. So as I say, whenever we go anywhere now, they all check the chairs. I'm just hopeless, really. Absolutely hopeless. When I was younger, my mum used to say I could trip over my own shadow. Up until about 20, I would constantly be on the floor, on my knees, tripped over something or other, over a great big scabby knee. I mean, honestly, you know, going out on the town was a nightmare because I could fall over stone sober. Having had a drink, forget it. Somebody was going to be picking me up from somewhere. And not because I was drunk, but just because I can't stand up straight for some reason. Although I shouldn't say that, because touch wood, as I say, not since I was about 20, I seem now able to stand up, but it's been taken over by broken chairs and the misuse of chairs. I remember there was a picnic table once. This is the story I think I remember sharing. And hey presto, somehow I sat too far back on the bench bit, slipped, and my feet got stuck under the table bit, and there I was just dangling there, and everybody was laughing so much and nobody could help me. Oh my goodness, I'm just a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. No, wrong pin. Right pin. Yeah. So, As I say, whenever we go out now, it's always a case of let's check the chairs. And my son-in-law, poor boy, he really goes through it because somehow it's him I'm sitting next to when it happens. And he's always like, I didn't touch it, it wasn't me. Oh dear, he's got to start saying soon, I'm not sitting next to her. Someone else can have that anticipation. Because, of course, when you go, you sort of grab, don't you? He's convinced I'm trying to pull him down with me. But anyway. It is what it is. Right. I think we're almost done. Let's have a little look. Oh, there's another dog here, look. Okay. Sorry, I've got the needle in my mouth. That one can come out. This one can come out. It's not done proper, but it can go over there like that. That's down, that's down, that is down, so that one can come out. We haven't obviously done the hexie yet because I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do them. So I'm going to start here and work my way up there and onto there now, and then that'll be done. And I can sit back and wonder what I'm going to do with regard to fancy stitching and seed beads. So please, you know, if you think this could be an idea for you for your Roxy Volume 4. See, I'm dreadful, I just shorten words. Roxy's Volume 4. Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Volume 4. Then, you know, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to know if you're gonna go down this route, having seen this and popped over and looked at what Cathe's done. I mean, obviously her work is 1,000 times better than mine, and she's done all sorts of wonderful hanging pom-pom type decorations, and she changed the handles of the pre-bought bag and so on. So much better than me. But she inspired me to make a doll's dress, for goodness sake, just for the purpose of putting on here, because I loved the way hers looked with the treasured dress, you know, on it. So if you've got grandchildren or something, you might have a beautiful baby's dress that you want to put on your piece or other things. I'm going to dig through my broken jewellery as well and see out, stab myself, what bits of jewellery I've got that would fit colour wise that I can also add on to this piece. This is not obviously my Roxy's because we haven't got any prompts or anything yet. I just saw it, I loved it, and I wanted to do it. And whilst I was doing it, I realised it would work for that. I'm still going to push forward with my... Oh, we need to do that corner. With my printer's tray. I'm going to push forward with my printer's tray. That was my original idea. It's the one that I want to stick with, so that's what I'm going to do. That pin can come out as well now. Okay, so all those pins can go back in my box, and that one. I just need to do that bit and this bit here because I run out of thread up there, and that's done. So let me know your thoughts. Do you like the idea? Please go and look at Cathe's because A, it's so much better, and B, you know, I mean, well, it's just so much better, and she was a great inspiration to me. She did decide to machine stitch hers. She did it sort of, I don't know, half an inch apart or whatever to give it that quilted effect. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going with this. I'm probably going to do blanket stitch around my hexes. Obviously I'm going to definitely put on the beads. I might put on bits of jewellery if I can find the right colourway. So who knows, maybe there won't even be any stitching in the end, because it'll just be stitching the beads and things on. I don't know. I really don't know where I'm going with it. But it's a project that I'm going to enjoy playing with. As Corinne says, it's some nice homework. I'm going to enjoy playing with it and just sort of see where we end up. And then obviously once I'm finished with it, I will attach it to my bag. If you go and watch the video, you'll see that Cathe actually uses Fabri-Tac and she glues it to the bag. I don't know whether I'll glue it or whether I'll use something like a blanket stitch to adhere it. We'll see. I've never been a huge fan, it sounds stupid, but I've never been a huge fan of Fabri-Tac on fabric. Perhaps I'm too heavy-handed, but I always seem to end up with globs, and I've watched all sorts of videos and talked to various different people about how not to get globs, but yeah, I don't know, it doesn't work for me. So there we go. I probably will stitch mine. I don't know. Who knows? So I've just fed all the way up here. I've now got, and obviously this is just cotton fabric that I stamped on using the same blue inks, that and here. I think these two are the Colbert, and that one, that number 5 is the cornflower. I am going to go and hunt when I finished here. I see that the Ugly Art Club are working on numbers for this month. I didn't realise they had a monthly sort of prompt, and I have enjoyed doing abstract work and stuff lately, as you've probably seen. And I was lucky enough to have one of my pieces shown in the Foxy Rag, the magazine that Tracy Fox does. She put out a bit of a challenge back in April, which I chose to take part in, and I've pulled it off again. Can you believe it? I'm just going to stop there, I think, because something is telling me that this is getting ridiculous. Yeah, and I was lucky enough to have it featured in her magazine, so thank you, Tracy, very much appreciated. Glad you liked it. So yeah, I'm going to pop along there in a minute. So, as always, I would like to say a huge thank you to you for coming along, spending some time with me today. I hope you've had joy and inspiration from what you've seen me doing, and go and see, go listen to your teacher. Go and have a look at Cathe's. Trust me, you will love it. Even if it's not your style, it will most definitely Do you know what? See, I told you, I'm just going to stop there. If it's not your style, you will appreciate the, you know, the amount of work in it at least. And yeah, there's the printer's tray, or the faux printer's tray. Thanks for joining me. Stay safe. I'll see you very, very soon. Happy crafting.